Happy Wednesday, everyone. How are we doing? Good to see you all here. It is April 2023, the 5th, if you want me to be more specific. To everyone who is live in the chat right now, I want to welcome you. I hope that you're all doing really, really well. And anyone who's watching on replay, hello to you as well. I don't forget about you. And I know that this time of the week isn't good for everyone. You can't always do that with a global show. But whether you watching live or watching later on, I love you all and appreciate you. So, with that said, start of a new month. I really enjoyed last week's Q&A. It was very vibrant, lots of discussion, covered lots of ground, and left me, as always, going away thinking about what else could I do for this show. And actually, just before I went live, I was speaking with my new producer, ChatGPT, who I asked to be a world-class producer of live shows, and I gave the chatbot my schedule, my sort of layout for my live shows, and I said, "What do you think of this? And what advice would you give?" And liked a lot of what I have planned, but gave some tweaks here and there. And actually, when I was just having a shower, one of the best times to ever think about ideas. I was always thinking about, I want to have something at the start of the show that happens every week, a part of a regular format, but is short. It's a good introduction. It's a good way of just getting everyone chatty. And I've thought of just that. So I didn't even need AI for that one. And we'll get to that in about 5 minutes' time. But yes, as you all seen from the title of this video, it is about Twitter today. For two reasons. One, I have been exhausted this week and I've not had much thinking time at all. And I woke up this morning, I've got this massive, database of ideas for shows, but I was looking at them thinking, what do I feel like doing? And sometimes you just have to strip things away and think, right, what do I feel like talking about? Where is the energy? What would I be enthusiastic about talking about? And Twitter has been on my mind this week because there's been a lot going on in Twitter ever since October when Elon Musk took over. On April 1st, I was supposed to lose my blue tick, my verification tick, and that hasn't happened. And there's been all this weird stuff happening with Twitter Blue. Now, if you're listening to this and you're like, Myles, what are you on about? Don't worry, we will get to all of it. Because I just want to have not necessarily just a conversation about what Twitter is now and do we think it's got better or worse, which is the title of this video. But I just wanted to talk about Twitter as a whole. Who uses it? If you do, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And also for those that have decided not to use it, maybe at all, or maybe like some people have commented on the poll that I released online earlier today that they used to use it, they don't anymore, and they feel better for it. I was one of those people, but I did jump back in the last half a year, not because Elon Musk joined, but I will get to that a little bit later. Roy says in the chat, lol, I'm older and have yet to join. I was going to say it's never too late, but actually staying away from it can be a wonderful, wonderful thing. Thank you, Mojo, for the hugs, squishy ones of that. Appreciate it. And Callie Timecat, welcome. On Twitter, I am not a huge fan, but over the years I found it sometimes informative. It does seem to have deteriorated recently for some reason. Wink. And Jemima says, I like the Twitter. I find it unchanged. And this is great because everyone's going to have a different perspective on it. I have to admit, I have mixed feelings about it, which might seem like a cop-out, but I think it'd be a cop-out if I was to just leave my answer as that. I think there's a lot for us to talk about there. But a bit of housekeeping. I host this show this time every week. So if you are new, welcome. Say hi in the chat so I can say hello and welcome you, as well as the rest of the chat, which, to be honest, the chat is what makes the show as great as it is. It's such a welcoming community. But then on Fridays, I co-host with Brian Paul on PSVR Without Parole, a YouTube channel all about virtual reality in the world of PlayStation. And we host Gamescast Live in the evening here in the UK. 2 hours later from now, it will be that time on Friday. And I know those people watching on replay are like looking at their clocks going, when's that? It's 11 p.m. UK time, which should be 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific. Hopefully I got that right. And then at the weekends, I do a Let's Play. Now, with the Let's Play, where I play computer games, last weekend, I had a really, really good time playing Cosmonius High, which was a game that actually went a bit quiet for a lot of people. But this is what we played, and actually went live on Sunday and had some technical issues. So I had to pull the live stream and start from the beginning. I really appreciate everyone that chipped in because it was actually quite a decent live stream. And this is by the creators of Job Simulator and Vacation Simulator, Alchemy Labs. And you know what? I had a really good time with it. There was a few funny moments, which I'll definitely be clipping for later this week. But I've been playing it most evenings, and as of last night, I platinumed it. So I 100%ed the game. I really, really like it. Yes, it's aimed at, more young kids and that, but as a game, it's fun. You explore this, cosmic high school, meeting all sorts of characters, and there's really cool game mechanics. And, when you're in VR, sometimes you have to just take a step back and go, no, they've designed this really, really well. It's very well polished, very few issues, and I had a really good time with it. Now, for this weekend, I had a game lined up, and to be honest, I have games lined up for the next God knows how many weeks. I think 12 weeks. And I believe this weekend's was going to be Pavlov, which I've had a really good time with, and there's some really, really funny modes on it. But the reason I haven't scheduled it yet is I am currently trying to get a key for a game that has just dropped, which was Creed. And for those that don't know, Creed is a boxing game, Rise to Glory Championship Edition. If I can get that before the weekend, I will be doing it because a lot of you will love, firstly, seeing me being exhausted. And by the way, actually, I've been working out a lot in Kayak VR, which is that kayak game, doing it really, really fast. And I've been doing some of the big races. And I'm actually going to do a virtual reality, like a TikTok, virtual reality, and it'll be footage of me in this beautiful, around this island with dolphins in the water. I'll put on some really nice music, and then I'll put reality, and then I'll do some footage of me actually in, me with the VR headset on, just going, because it's really unattractive. And that is how it is. And I think Creed is definitely going to be it. Wolfgang, it's good to see you here. Great to see you here. Someone I met through the Twitch community in the Beat Saber. I say Beat Saber days, it's still going strong. But when I was involved with getting my band's music mapped out and played on there, I remember people, always do. But yeah, also you can play Creed online. So if I can get that going and any of you own it, let's box. Yeah? It should be fun. Right. So yeah, that is all to come. Last bit of housekeeping before we get to that first thing I said I was going to talk about. Right now, we have got a puzzle, a new puzzle. Now, Looper the Game Cat said, or should I say Underground Game Cat, said right near the start that they preferred, I like the first puzzle type more when it was an actual jigsaw puzzle. I agree. The only problem was to access it, you had to have the image to then upload, which seems ridiculous. So I would actually say to anyone out there, if you know any websites like this where you can create custom puzzles that we can all play together while the live show is going on, please let me know, and I'll get that created for this week. But look at this, already doing this the live section. But yeah, it's pinned in the chat. So if you look in the chat, you will find a link. But it is bit.ly/MDL for Myles Dyer Live, MDL Puzzle 89, and that will take you here. And currently, how many players have we got? I don't know if I can see at the moment. I've got so many windows open. We've got a few here. Oh, Lupa's at it. We've got orange. Some people are joining now. And basically what you do is you click on one, and then you swap them around. So you can sort of do that. See, and now I'm like, oh, I want to give this a go. But yeah, it's fun. So let's see if this can be completed by the end of the show. There are 448 pieces. So there's a lot there. And the last 2 weeks, they've been quite dark backgrounds where there isn't much like distinguishing factors. So it can be quite difficult. Whereas this one, I think, hopefully will be a little easier. Okay. Before we get on with the main topic for this week, the thing I wanted to start as a regular feature was kind of as an icebreaker for you, the chat. I love talking with you all. And so this week it might be a bit, I didn't expect to be asked this. But if I let you know that this is going to be a weekly feature, you might start thinking, okay, before I come to each show, I'll have a little 5-minute think about this beforehand. Vitamin G is something we often talk about on this live show. Vitamin gratitude. You know, what is something you are grateful for? Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it an experience? Or maybe it's something you've overcome and you're just grateful that you got through it. And already in the chat, people are doing the vitamin G emotes that I can't even put on the chat right now. I mean, I could actually grab it from my live streaming assets, which are here, emotes. Where is it? Vitamin G. Ta-da. Is it putting it there? Ta-da. Yeah. Vitamin G. And so, I wanted just to kick off the shows every week with asking you, what are you grateful for? And I'm saying I'm going to go first, but I haven't really thought too much about it. But no, I'm grateful for the sun. The sun has started coming out a lot more. It's been warmer, even when it has been cold. Just going out with the warmth on the face just makes me feel so much better. I mean, I do have seasonal affective disorder, and I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to guess that it's a bit of a spectrum where everyone kind of deals with it because humans need sunlight. Something I didn't realise until the past year, which some of you might think, Myles, can't believe you didn't know this. But I kind of suspected it, but I looked it up. It was a question of like, you know, you should have 30 minutes of exposure to light first thing in the morning. And I sit opposite a window, and I thought, does that actually count if you've got sunlight, but it's coming through the glass? And I'm sure there is some psychological benefits. You know, you're seeing light, it's waking you up, but you're not getting the UV rays and things like that. So going out the house, I know some people go, oh, it's overcast, there's no direct sunlight. Doesn't matter. You know, if there is light outside, yes, if it's overcast, you need to spend a bit longer. But just getting out there, it's important. So yeah, I'm very grateful for the sun, and I'm looking forward to the summer as long as it doesn't get too hot. Thiago Guitarist says, "Ooh, outside." Wolfgang says, "Grateful for my roommates, the good and bad experiences." And that's the thing, is you can be grateful for the bad experiences because you can learn from them. They can be a teachable moment. They can be an opportunity to resolve things. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes, like, if someone is annoying you, but it's so small, you think, I'm not going to deal with it. It's nothing. And then there's that little bit where it just oversteps it, which creates the opportunity of like, no, I'm going to bring this up now. And obviously you could have brought it up anyway, but, you know, that's a positive way of looking at it. Kiro says, I'm grateful for comfortable routines that keep you grounded when everything else can go up in the air. Yes, routines are important, and that is something I'm trying to factor into this live show. Is I do really want to get this concise, that every week these are the different places. And someone that I used to be quite good friends with, Lucy, she does Locking It Down with Lucy, which is a live show. She works at PlayStation. but does this weekly live show during the lockdown. Still does it now. I'm trying to get her on as a guest sometime. She does at the start of her live shows highlights and lowlights. So she'll ask people like, what are your highlights? Like, what is a highlight this week? What's a good thing? And then what's a low light? What are the not so good things? And I'd like it. I was like, I'd like to do that on my show, but should always find your own thing. The only thing I found though was, although some people mention lowlights, and it's okay to talk about those things, I think the energy is always in the highlights. And then some people's highlights make other people feel bad. Whereas gratitude, I think, allows an opportunity to talk about those highlights and lowlights. But it's in a way of like, you can talk about it as a thing of value, as a teachable moment that other people can benefit from. Just having a look here. Callie says, grateful for this chat space and this live stream. Thank you. Well, I'm grateful for you showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mark says, I haven't done this for a few weeks now, so I'm just getting it ready. Mark says, my wife just confessed that she broke my favourite lamp. I don't think I'll ever be able to look at her in the same light ever again. Thank you very much, Mark. I'm grateful for your jokes. Always, always. Just having a look. I'll see I'll go just talking about the outside. Massively hermit prone. I guess that's for my mental health to an extent, though. I'm sure you know from being in a band, Myles, you have to do an absurd amount of socialising when you gig. That's for sure. But going outside, like, obviously it depends what your area is. Even like 5 minutes, just going around the block or something can make a huge difference because it just gets the blood flowing and stuff like that. It reminds me of sort of the cold showers that I do every morning now. Don't like the look of it when the shower's running, but once I get in there, I just know in 5 seconds I'm going to feel better. Typical British reason to be grateful. Wow, Roy. Wow. Roy says, I rejoice that I'm still here after given 12 months 5 years ago. Well, that is an incredible reason to feel gratitude, and glad you're here with us, Roy. So much love to you, dude. Just having a look here. Yeah, vitamin G for the sunshine. Yeah. And Mark's just happy to be who he is. Yeah. And Melanie as well. Grateful to live another day. Yeah, grateful for the days. Katie, brackets gloomy, grateful for my cat, who you can see there in the picture. Warmer weather. Oh, we're listing them now. And being where I am today, got to appreciate the little things. And it is all about the little things. The little things pieced together like a puzzle. Don't forget about the puzzle, everyone. Like a puzzle. And I like everyone's finished Elon Musk's face first. And Atmos VR says, grateful for the amazing Hello Game Studio. What an amazing studio it is as well. But yeah. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for sharing them. I might keep this potion up as that part of the show in future. I'd like to actually get like a little statue of that maybe made at some point. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe I should get a little vitamin G thing in the background once I get my new desk. Thank you for those that have said they like the jacket. This jacket, although some people would say, oh, it's actually a reasonable price for a jacket. For me, it was not cheap. I did some clothes shopping this evening and got lots of cool new clothes. It was long overdue. And this is like a biker jacket. And I don't know if I can show the back now. It's got Los Angeles on it, California. And I did ask them at the store, what does this say in Japanese? Because it's from Superdry. I knew that says California because I looked it up with my camera. It scanned it and knew what the text was. This, it couldn't because it's curved. So it probably says Los Angeles or something like that. I don't know. But it's very comfortable. And it's not the kind of jacket I would normally wear. But I reckon it's going to be one of these jackets that I end up wearing all the time. Because that's what happens with me, is I get a new favourite bit of clothing, like that hoodie that I always wear. And yes, it is comfy AF. It certainly is. Right. Was there anything else I wanted to talk about before we get on with the show? Just got loads of great live streams coming up for the Let's Plays. And I've been working so hard behind the scenes on this show, basically. And there's just a lot of things that you work on, and they take time to come around. So as a lot of you know, I've been working on merchandise. I've just got my business email set up, which means I can begin to start a mailing list. I don't know what you guys think of this, but I'm going to be setting up a mailing list. It's like a big project, and I think it will help me be accountable. And the idea is you sign up for the mailing list, and then every weekend on a Saturday, I will sit down at this desk and I will do a short little email that will say, this is what's happened on the last week's show. So like I'll say on Myles Dyer Live, we talked about this topic. Here are the key takeaways. And I might use quotes from you. And then I'll say, this is what's coming up. This is what next week is. And what that means is it will also encourage me on Saturday to plan the week ahead fully. And it's just going to be like a little newsletter that I can do every week. And I can also include updates around merchandise and things like that. And it just means that people that aren't always tuning in or don't get the subscribe notifications and things, that they're covered. So yeah, I'm going to be starting a Myles Dyer Live mailing list. Also, Discord is probably going to be coming a lot sooner than expected because I've already started doing some research on that. And I think it'd be good to have a Discord where we can all hang out when the show is not on. Cool. Right, moving on. So this week's topic is Twitter. Twitter, is it getting better or is it getting worse? But I think before we even get to that question, I want to ask everyone in the chat, who here uses Twitter? And who here used to? Do you know what? I'm going to do it as a little poll now. Why not? And Karina, who is a super duper moderator, I don't know if that is the technical term. Are you able to? Did you find out if you were able to set up polls? I mean, I'm setting up one now. Do you use Twitter? Yes. No. Now, you might say this is a bad poll because I've got no split into two, but this is more just to get information. So the poll that has just gone up, I love that it's already shot up already, but I will just put it on screen here. So I've just been asking, do you use Twitter? Yes, no, as in you never have, or no, not anymore. So I'll leave that running for a couple of minutes. But yeah, I'm just looking at the chat now. Team used to, Siago says, I haven't used Twitter in a few years, don't miss it to be honest, and I didn't use it much when I had it. Daily, unfortunately. I'm about to use Twitter as a social media platform for my bar. Well, this is it. While this is going on, I'll give you a bit of background of my perspective. And Jenna Sequoia has just joined. Good to see you here, Jenna. My perspective on Twitter is this. I felt I joined it way later than everyone else did. But then, like in hindsight, I was pretty much there since the start. But I think I joined maybe half a year after everyone. Whatever year that would have been. Twitter, I have always talked about in the context of a platform for communication, and it's a disaster in many ways for that. The advantages are it's a quick, easy way for getting messages out there, connecting with people that you wouldn't normally connect with, and having conversations. It's great for that. It was a great democratizing force in the early days, and I still think it is to some degree now, but I think there are a lot of challenges that I'll get to in a moment. But the issue is technology and the internet has made us more connected than we've ever been. But the cliche dichotomy is we've never felt more alone and isolated and divided. And for me, the reason why is we have all this technology. We're connecting with people from all over the world, but it's in a context where 90% of what communication is, which is body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, none of this exists. The content of what you say is at most 10% of communication. And so when you have a platform that predicates itself on that, it means you're having a very distorted global conversation around things. It dehumanizes people. People don't see others as humans, often because there's a lot of avatars or non-avatars, anonymous people. And so people talk to others in ways they wouldn't talk to others in real life. And that, for me, has always been hugely problematic. The character limit, on the one hand, is great because it means people have to put their thoughts into concise means. It prevents the platform from being spammy. You can just get out what you want to say very quickly. There's a low opportunity cost to attention. If you see someone's tweet and it isn't something that interests you, you'll very quickly know. And you're not having to click off to get away from it. You just keep going down the timeline. The flip side to that is people are having to take a thought or an idea and put it into a super concise form, which again, there are advantages to it, and you can do threads and things like that. But often what happens is when people make things more concise, they come across as most blunt, as sometimes heartless, vicious. They might come across as you're losing that tone of voice, as I've mentioned already, and you can lose a lot of nuance. And when people haven't, and also when it comes to discussing ideas with people that disagree with you, I think it encourages this environment where you create straw man arguments against other people. You want low-hanging fruit. If you've only got so many characters, you want to basically just undercut your ideological or, intellectual opponent as quickly as you can. And so it ends up becoming a mudslinging match. Finally, on top of it, Twitter is one of many social media platforms where we have created a status-based economy. Now, status has always had an economy in society. Status is important. It gives you opportunity. It gets you credibility. You can argue whether or not the credibility is justified or not. Status has always been important in society. We now have social media platforms where, for the most part, status has always been associated around your number of followers. There is a metric now where there can be a straightforward comparison. Now, I know what many of you are going to say. It's not an accurate metric, and I totally agree with all of that. But beneath the surface of what we might, overtly think, subconsciously, it does have an impact. It does have an impact. It does create a comparison. And so with this status economy, and there was a song that my band wrote on our last and final album, Unity in Time. The song was called Prism. It was the idea that because of this status-based economy, this is now how we attack each other, by kneecapping people's credibility, by smearing people, mudslinging, and trying to discredit people. And for me, all of these things I've mentioned created an incredibly toxic environment on Twitter. I think if you want to engage in the mainstream around politics, activism, it's a very tiring process. I used to do it all the time. I used to do a lot on politics. And, you have to be quite thick-skinned. I dealt with it. But over time, it wears you out. And because politics and activism wasn't sort of my main go-to in terms of what I made content-wise, although there was for a bit, I just got exhausted. And about 6 years ago, I decided to delete it off my phone. Now, the reason I deleted it off my phone, and by the way, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to go to your thoughts and end the poll. So if you haven't gone in the poll yet, please do. But my final part about Twitter was, and the reason I deleted it off my phone was, the issue with that, or most social media platforms, is the internet is an infinity machine. An infinity machine in the sense of there is so much content. More content is being created than you would physically be able to process. So you will never in your lifetime, there's always something that you can engage with and get your mind sucked into. And I always used to think about it like right now, I'm talking to you. I feel like we're having a conversation. But if I put a camera just to the side of me, facing me from the side, it's me this human being sat at a desk talking to just basically bits of hardware. Yes, we're having a real conversation, but that's it. And for Twitter, for the most part, it is people constantly just doing this when there is a whole world out there. There's nature to walk among. There's, people to spend time with, people to hug. And people are just doing this, myself included. And I found that incredibly depressing. And so for me, I realised my relationship with social media, and also there were times where there's drama online or people were smearing me online, and you just start reading horrible stuff about you. And there was a few times where it led me to the edge in horrible, horrible ways. Things I'll have conversations with another time. But I had some really horrible experiences with social media. I had really bad anxiety. I had panic attacks. It wasn't good. Like, normally when people chat about you, it's done behind your back and it's in, a conversation. And once it's uttered, it gets lost in the atmosphere, in that moment in time. Now things are permanently there, online. Why spend your attention on that when you could spend your attention on positive things? That stuff's happening whether you like it or not. Spend your attention on bettering yourself and doing other things. And so the solution I came up with was to only use social media with an intention. And I remember the days of MySpace, when MySpace first came out. And for those that didn't use it, MySpace had like bulletins, and I think you would try and get comments on your photos. And I remember you would refresh the homepage to see if you got any notifications of comments and stuff like that, or friend requests. And then as new social media platforms opened, you would go to MySpace, then you go to Facebook, check all the notifications, then you go back to MySpace because there'd be new notifications. And the more apps and social media platforms you had, the more reason you had to go back to the beginning of that cycle once you got to the end of all the platforms. Because once you've done 6 social media platforms, well, you have even more of a reason to go back to the first one now, because there's even more time that's passed and more time that there's probably some notifications or emails for you to check. And so my top bit of advice was only use social media with intention. Now, how is that practically done? Deleted Twitter off my phone. The only time I ever used Twitter was when I wanted to post something or actively or with intention seek for something. What would I have to do? I'd have to go to my computer, fire up the internet browser, go on Twitter, post what I had to post or view what I had to view, maybe even have a bit of a conversation. But then once it's done, I've closed the window, I've gone. I'm not in my bed at night scrolling through an infinite feed. I'm not doing it while out traveling. And I did it for 6 years, and it did wonders for my mental health. Now, arguably, I could have probably done it with other social media outlets. But for me, there were other outlets where I was happy to be a content creator for, not for Twitter. Now, the change is, in the last 6 months since Elon Musk has taken it, I have started using it again. Not because of Elon Musk, but because with the virtual reality stuff that I cover, I wanted to engage in the virtual reality community, and actually it's very active on Twitter. You can speak with devs and things like that, and the people that you follow really shape the experience you have on Twitter. And so I actually do need to go through a massive cull on Twitter, and they say you should do it with Instagram and things like that. Only follow things that not that make you feel good but bring you benefit. If there are things that make you feel bitter or depressed or have negative impacts, you shouldn't be following it. It's not to say you shouldn't be connected with news that reports on bad things, but just have an honest conversation with yourself about, what is actually worth your attention, because that is the game that we are in right now. I have a lot more to say on this, but that was a freestyle right there, and I thought that was quite a good train of thought, if you don't mind me saying so, considering this morning I wasn't even sure what I was going to talk about. And we haven't even got to the Elon Musk stuff, and I wanted to be really sure about that for this live show today, which is, this isn't about Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a big part of it, and we will get to that. But as I go through the chat, if you haven't already, we've got 25 of you watching right now. Do hit the like button. We have 11 likes at the moment, and I'd always appreciate a few more. So I'm just going to end the poll now. to see what people have said. And let's just have a look at how this is coming on well. This is coming on. Wow, everyone's doing good. I like how the order in which everyone's been working on this, actually. Great. Really, 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 really great. Keep it up. Here are the results. We had 23 votes. Do you use Twitter? 56% said yes. No, not anymore, 30%. And no, never, 13%. The no, not anymore, I thought was going to be a bit of a bigger percentage compared to never. So that looks actually about right of what I was expecting. That's cool. Callie says, I joined Twitter 15 years ago, about 2 years after it first started, but when it was relatively unknown in the UK, it seems. Karina was answering about the about Karina's new responsibilities. I have checked and not able to do anything extra apart from being able to block new words and change chat modes. What are the chat modes that you can change? Like how the speed at which it runs and things like that, right? But yeah, no, thank you, Karina. And thank you to all my mods, actually, who are here. Really, really appreciate you. Wolfgang says, I've made friends because of Twitter too. Just the platform itself needs to be worked on. This is an amazing story. If you haven't checked it out, it was John Ronson's social media book called So You've Been Publicly Shamed. A very famous story about a woman who made a joke. She made a joke on Twitter. Let me find it. It was Justine Sarko. She did a joke. She had 170 Twitter followers, and she just tweeted on her final leg of her trip to Cape Town. She put, going to Africa, hope I don't get AIDS, just kidding, I'm white. And supposedly, in her defense, she was doing it to be, like, ironic. She didn't actually think that. She was, like, mocking people that are ignorant like that. But she was on an 11-hour flight. And when she landed, she had loads of texts from friends saying that she was trending on Twitter. And her Twitter feed became a horror show. Just like people saying she'd been, racist. She was being insincere to, AIDS victims and stuff like that. And the trending hashtag was, has Justine landed yet? Because I think she got fired from her job. And she got fired for her job. And the whole world knew about it before she even landed. So yeah, it was an interesting story. But yeah, You've Been Publicly Shamed by John Ronson. I've not read the book, but I've seen a lot of his talks and interviews about it. And I've actually worked with John Ronson on an internet show quite a few years ago. Got my hair. Tried to blow dry it earlier, and it's gone crazy now. But yeah, really, really interesting story. Karina says, status, one of the main reasons to try and stay from social media, toxic. Way too many keyboard warriors out there. Well, it's interesting, the debate, isn't it, about, should you have to be verified and prove who you are? And at first, there's been a time where I believed in that. I thought, yeah, everyone should, be associated with their account. But anonymity is really important, whether it's reporting on, whistleblowing, on government abuse, maybe if you're a victim of abuse and you need to speak out against your, oppressor. There's lots of reasons why that should happen. Siaga goes, I try to let it go, plus most of the feedback is positive, but negative feedback will always be louder. Yeah, great example is if you give someone a list of 100 things in the chat that are positive and there's one negative, the one negative will stand out because it is the difference. whereas everything else becomes more of the same. Only half of you have clicked the like button. Click the like button if you haven't already. Love you. It's good to remember that you can mute and remove yourself from any social media if it gets tough, although sometimes there are real-world consequences that go beyond being able to mute. Yeah, I don't think I've ever blocked anyone on Twitter other than like spam accounts. I might have muted people, but I can't remember. It's been a very long time since I've done that. I personally don't like to do it. I mean, if someone was like constantly like tagging me and spamming me, then yeah. But let's have a look here. You just shit post on Facebook, and I haven't done anything in Twitter in nearly a decade. Just having a look here. Here we go. I'm so guilty of that. Always turn off my computer, go to bed, only to open the same app on my phone while in bed. Yeah, they say a really good thing to do for two reasons is to keep your phone either in a different room. Also, sometimes it's like have your alarm clock on your phone, but put it the other side of the room so you're not going to grab it. And it also means you have to get out in the bed in the morning to turn it off. The only thing I would say, though, is I have a sleep cycle app, so I need it by my bedside table. But the thing is, it monitors my movement and that. So once I set it for bed, I then have to, I can't touch my phone anymore. But yeah, mobile games, I've got a couple on here that I'm really enjoying, and like if I start playing them, that can be like an hour gone in bed. It's not good. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. I have my laptop in my bedroom, which I've started doing again just to do like last minute bits in bed, but it's quite dangerous because I end up watching YouTube videos and watching shows. Bedroom should be just like, my bedroom is very boring. There's not much on the wall. Although you've just reminded me, I want to get what was the thing that was on the wall in the Bucharest? When I stayed in Bucharest, there was a really cute, like, relax and sleep or something poster that I really, really liked. And I want to get it on the wall of my... I'm actually having a look now through my Romania photos, if I've got them here. But I do want to get some, like, cute text on the wall. But yeah, apart from that, I keep my bedroom really plain because the only thing that should be there, oh yeah, it was this: relax and dream. I want to get one of them. I want to get one of them on my bedroom wall. That'd be cute. That's not going to distract me. I'm not going to be reading that again and again. Karina says, only use social media to connect with friends, or if I want to support a cause. Anything else is noise, taking quality away from one's life. That's the thing, is because the internet is an infinity machine, information is no longer scarce. What is scarce is your attention, and mind share is what everyone's fighting for. Everyone's fighting for your attention. They want your attention. That is the name of the game. Thank you, everyone. Lots of great stuff here, and I'm sure if you're watching on replay, you can see it. About that story I mentioned, I do find it kind of wild how 160 characters, forgive me if that's not right, I can't remember what it was then. I think, was it 170? I thought it was 120 at first. I do find it kind of wild how 160 characters can literally end a career. Well, one word can end a career if you say the wrong word. If you said like a vulgar, racial slur. Yeah, the speed of the chat also can't pin that puzzle, can only report or block. You can block me. Interesting. Mojo says, why would you joke about AIDS? What the fuck? That's such a stupid joke. It's not even funny. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, look. I think, I'd say that happened at a time where the internet is still quite new to people, of like what you can and can't say, or like the thing about jokes is I have a really dark sense of humor. I like comedians with really messed up jokes, but I will, if I go and see a comedian that tells them you're laughing in the room because it's like, it's the feeling of getting taken to the line. Like, what I love about humor is it takes you to the line and takes you over, and it makes you question things. And I remember studying comedy at university and psychology, and like the different reasons we laugh, sometimes a coping mechanism, all these sort of reasons, really, really interesting. And there's things that are said as a joke that I wouldn't find funny if it was literal. So yeah, this is a whole other conversation that we could have. Maybe I'll do one week about dark sense of humor. But when comedians tell a joke to a room of people that have paid to be there, and someone's filmed it and put it on Twitter, people then watch it who wouldn't have gone to see that comedian, and then they're offended. And then the newspapers will report on it. And then that gets it. They look at this joke everyone's been offended by, and then they share it with more people that wouldn't have seeked that sort of comedy. And they're like, "Yeah, I'm offended now as well. Have you seen this joke that's really offensive?" And then just more and more people that don't want to see it. I'm not saying that in defense to what you're saying. If anything, I'm supporting it because, yeah, putting something on Twitter, even if you have a small following, is not a good call, because you're basically declaring it to the world. And yeah. I don't find it a funny joke at all. I think there are much cleverer jokes for that. Tim Cooper says, I joined Twitter in 2008 and built quite a large number of followers. Like you, I removed all followers and stopped following all but a handful, then deleted the app from my phone. Yeah, I need to do a massive unfollow session, I think, because it's just there's just so much going on. But then I remember I've done it in the past where I've tried to do a cull, and I'm looking at them going, I still want to this is my way of staying in contact with this person. But it's like hoarding, isn't it? Connection hoarding. And I appreciate the follow. Yeah, it was called Escape and Control. I think you can find it on YouTube still. Let's have a look. It was it was on The Guardian as well. Here it is. Yeah, this was the series we worked on. There was some really interesting stuff about astroturfing and things like that. And yeah, this was it. This is the show that we worked on. And I'll tell you a little funny story about this. We actually, this was not long. Actually, it was a couple of years after Rebecca Black had done Friday, and we got him to meet the producer that did the song Friday. Here it is, Patrice Wilson. He met up with him, and they made a song called Tuesday. And did he actually not show any footage of it? Oh man. Basically, he did a music video for a song called Tuesday where he's in the car with Patrice, and it's so awkward and funny. I saw the full version, and then John Ronson last minute was like, I don't want this going out there. It could jeopardize my journalist career, which I thought was a real shame because is this? This is when he met him. Because this is when he met him. I love that we've taken a bit of a detour here. Oh man, is there no footage of it? Yeah, but it's about how rich kids, their parents pay for them to get a music video made with this guy for thousands and that, and he does really high quality videos and stuff. But it was great. It was really, really great. Well done with this, by the way. There's not many 66 pieces left for this. But yeah, I've seen the music video and I would love to leak it online, but I don't have it anymore. But it was so funny. And I actually thought John Ronson should have released it because he looked legendary. But yeah, it's Control spelt CTRL, like on the keyboard. Should I say Microsoft keyboard? Anyway, sorry guys, we've sort of gone off a bit there. God, look at the time. It's only 10:02. Wow, we've gone through this loads and loads, and you love the detour. I'm glad. So, look, the last part of this conversation with Twitter is like what's happening with Elon Musk. He's taken over it since October. And honestly, my thoughts have always been with Elon Musk. Like, Elon Musk, generally speaking, I think he's a really toxic individual, but he's someone that I used to be a huge fan of and still am a fan. But like the percentage of being not a supporter, but an appreciator of his has been diminished by all the stuff that he's doing now. So when it comes to SpaceX and Tesla disrupting the status quo, great for renewable energy and space exploration, absolutely love it. And he's done some brilliant things. Yeah, that's what I feel about Elon Musk. I have some huge respect for him. But he is, in my opinion, a toxic character. And where's the best place to be toxic? On Twitter. And he's done the most expensive purchase. Was it 45 billion or something? And I just think for a guy that rich working on all these really important projects, he spends way too much time posting memes and just chatting shit and starting fights with people. Like, wasn't there that cave rescue mission that was being done where the water had risen and they had to build some like underwater thing to get them out, and Elon Musk offered some submarine tech or something, which was great of him, but they didn't want it. I might be getting this story wrong, and then he accused one of the rescuers of being a paedophile, just randomly, and then he got taken to court for defamation. All sorts of weird stuff like that. But with him taking over Twitter, I've honestly been quite agnostic about it, in the sense that I don't know. I think there's an opportunity here for him to clean up Twitter. The Twitter files that have been leaked out, they've been interesting. But he's very partisan, and his political leanings I find concerning. In terms of the people that he sort of engages with. And yeah, I just find it very problematic. He's a troll. He's a master troll. And yeah, I think the fact he invests so much time, what it seems, on Twitter is a shame. But there's loads of questionable stuff he's been doing with the functionality, and Twitter Blue is the most amazing example of that. So, on Twitter, you can get a blue tick for verification, where you have to give your identification and say, this is who I am. I was verified by Twitter many years ago because of stuff I was working with YouTube, because all the big social media organizations, they have like cross channels. They can, obviously speed up verification processes, and they want to and I think verification is important. People that can be impersonated or want to say, look, I am the legit person. But I'm someone who feels that I want more people to be verified, where if you are willing to upload your identification, you should get verified. It shouldn't just be about being notable. It's kind of how I feel about the YouTube partnership program back in the day. I was in the first batch of people in the world to be offered the monetization program in YouTube. I think it was in like 2008, 2009. But I was like, I'd rather they allowed everyone to apply, because if people apply to the partnership program, you're into a contract where you say, my content is my own, there's no copyright issues, all this sort of stuff. And you want to offer that to as many people, because the more people you get signed up to the partnership program, the more people you have adhering to the terms of service of, I'm only posting stuff that belongs to me. And I feel that kind of way with Twitter verification. Twitter Blue, though, you pay what, $8, $9, or is it $11 a month? And there's all these features, like you get promoted in the algorithm, you get less ads. I think less ads is fine, but there's features that the default timeline is for you, where it's just random people you don't even follow. I get sent loads of people that I have no interest with, and I just get sent them a lot of like right-wing commentators. I do follow some right-wing commentators out of a matter of interest, and some people I know. I like to mix my crowd. But there definitely seems to be some leanings there, which I found was interesting. And then there's another tab, which is your followers. Well, that's who you should be following. But the Twitter Blue thing, anyone, and you must have heard all the shenanigans months ago, where people were like buying Twitter Blue and calling themselves Nintendo, and like causing absolute drama. I'm going to find it now. Yeah, like this. Is it going to let me drag it over? This Nintendo of America, and they had the tick there, and people were going, Mario wouldn't do that, and then Nintendo of America responded to him and went, fuck you. And then all these fake Twitter accounts were just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, for all these different companies. And there was one company, wasn't there, where it allowed for misinformation. There was one company that lost. There was a pharmaceutical company that. Yes, this was it. Eli Lilly issues rare apology for fake Twitter Blue account proclaims free insulin for all, and it caused a massive drop in I want to find it. It caused their here we go. This free insulin fake $8 Twitter verification costs $15 billion to this pharma company. So they basically came out and they said, yeah, we're going to be giving away. They impersonated the company and just said, yeah, insulin is now free. It's probably been taken down now. And you got this. Yeah. We are excited to announce insulin is free now. And now brands are saying, we apologise for those that have been served a misleading message from a fake Lilly account. We're sorry you ever thought insulin could be free. Incredible scenes. And they lost serious amounts of money. It was absolute carnage. But then the other thing that's been happening recently was they said, they kept on saying legacy verification accounts. He was like, yeah, they're a joke. They've been given to people left, right and centre. He was like, this needs to stop. Can I find this here? So my account now, so on the 1st of April, they said that legacy accounts were gonna no longer be verified. So I was gonna lose my blue tick, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And then it didn't go away on April 1st. I didn't know if it was some shit April Fool's trick. And then because anyone that had Twitter Blue had the piss ripped out of them, people saying you're an idiot for paying for Twitter Blue. And people got it it was a shame to have a blue tick that said it's because they paid for Twitter Blue. And then this came in. It says this account is verified because it's subscribed to Twitter Blue or is a legacy verified account. So we were all saying, so what's going on now is we are all being associated with lame accounts that have paid for Twitter Blue. And by the way, that's not to say that everyone that has a Twitter Blue account is lame. I'm just saying there's a lot of lame accounts that have paid for Twitter Blue and I don't want to be associated with them. So that's an interesting way of hiding it. But then I checked again today and it's changed once more. It now says, next to me, this account is verified because it's notable in government, news, entertainment, or another designated category. Learn more. So they've gone back. They've gone back on themselves. I am absolutely confused by Twitter. I don't know what they're playing at. I'm personally not going to be paying for Twitter Blue for two reasons. One, I don't believe in it. But secondly, I don't want to feed into this new economy where all social media accounts just start, causing people to have to pay to use the social media platforms. They've made enough money out of us creating content for them. Do you know that saying? If you're not paying for a product, you are the product. So it's interesting that they've sort of done this halfway thing. Life is too short to be worrying about a tick by name. I'm not worrying about it, but naturally you're curious about it if it's going to impact. it does have an impact on the way that you engage with people. Like there are journalists and guests I've tried to get on the show that have, been in contact, because of me having the tick. So it is helpful in that way. But as I said, I would rather they just allowed everyone to apply for verification. But yeah. And that's interesting. They've got it as well, huh? They've got it right. Yeah. Cool. Any final thoughts? I know that's sort of like that was actually going to be the main thing I spoke about today, but it's actually been like the end point. I think there was a lot more interesting things to talk about Twitter. But my current feelings about it is I think Twitter is a complete mess at the moment. I think there's an opportunity to make some really great features. I think some of the things he's mentioned, Elon Musk wants to reduce the number of bots, and he says that he's going to do it by having Twitter Blue, where you to take part in polls, you have to have Twitter Blue. His argument is that if you have to pay for Twitter Blue, it's going to stop bot farms, where people have all these like rooms of like multiple accounts, because you're going to have to pay $8 for each of them. He says like for $8, it's not going to be worth the price to create all those fake accounts. It's an interesting argument, but I think just doing regular verification is the way for it to be done, because also we want to democratize it where people shouldn't be priced out of verifying themselves. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, I'm still going to be using Twitter. I do have it on my phone now, but it is because I'm using it when I'm out and about for VR and stuff like that. But I am thinking of deleting it off my phone again. I am in such two minds about it, and I'm still not sure. Yeah, better verification. Absolutely. There has to be a better way. And look, he's got a lot of money, but supposedly he's hemorrhaging lots and lots of money. Right, everyone. I'd love to hear your final thoughts. Twitter, what do you think about it? What were your key takeaways today? In terms of Let's Play this weekend, keep an eye out. I'm going to start scheduling a lot of live streams. And also, most importantly, before actually we go to the credits, and also there's only 24 blocks left to go. Only 24 left. So go help out. Go help out if you can. Doing a great job there. And yeah, by next week, if someone else can find me another puzzle site where it's a regular puzzle, let me know. That would be great. It's hard to give up Twitter because it's one of the fastest ways to get new media news. Totally agree. It is a great way of getting news, although as we move into this AI world, it's going to become increasingly troubling with fake news and things like that. I finally just wanted to say that it is Easter. It's Easter this weekend, which means I'm off work on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which means I'm going to be able to have a full day where instead of working my regular job, I'm going to be sat down here. I'm going to be finalising all the merchandise that I've been working on, and quite a few other things. So I'm quite excited. I might this weekend try and get the Discord set up as well, but I'm going to need some mods to help me with that. So with all of that said, I want to wish you all a wonderful Easter. If you're going to eat Easter eggs, enjoy the Easter eggs. And if you don't celebrate Easter, just have a wonderful rest of your week. And if you get time off work, take it. So, yeah. Oh, I know what I'm going to talk about in the post-credits. But until then, let me know your final thoughts. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Hit the like button before you leave as well. There are 9 of you who are watching who haven't done it yet. And I'd appreciate it very, very much. Much love, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.
chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes.
What is happening with the word game? It's a great question. The truth is, we've had a few issues the last few weeks with it. That's been annoying. It just hasn't been working. I've actually spoken with the creators of Words on Stream because they have a lot of other games, but they're all Twitch only. And I was saying, please allow for YouTube live integration. And they said they're working on it. So fingers crossed. The puzzle is kind of the new sort of game that we have, and it can happen throughout the show, just because it's something people can work on in the meantime. I'm definitely open to having other post-show games, but to be honest, it just got... We just done it enough times, and I felt some change was needed. So look, if there's huge demand for the word game, I will do my best to bring it back. But while I'm working on other things for the live show, I just want to sort of give it a break for a moment. And it's not to say it can't come back. In terms of the puzzle, only 6 pieces left. 4 pieces left. This is amazing. 2 pieces left. 2 pieces left. Can you find the last 2 pieces? It's last 2 pieces. I just feel like we need to watch this until it gets done. Who can find... How many people we got here? Wow, Looper, Safe Mark, and whoever Dark Green is. Who's Dark Green? Well done, Dark. Oh, there we go. We've done it, everybody. Well done, well done, well done. Indeed. Well done, indeed. And what I love now is on this website, you can actually search Myles Dyer, and you've got the results for the previous. So this website is soon going to just be filled with other puzzles, which I love. Wow, this has been sold 3 times, and this has been sold 4 times. So what I love is other people, I don't know if it's you guys doing it, but other people on the website are now doing these puzzles, which this could like be a way for the live show to start picking up an audience. Who would have thought, right? Yeah, I love the word game, and you absolutely smash it as well. You absolutely smash it as well. Yeah, I think the word game will be good to do occasionally. I agree. I just want to sort of get a batch of games. If I had a second console up here that I could do Jackbox, although Jackbox I could probably do if I got a PC version. I don't know if you can do a version on the Mac. The point is, it's something I need to look into, and I will get to it. So, yeah, stay with me there. Right, the thing I was going to talk about was that this chair... Do you know what? I actually might be able to show you on my web... Because you used to be able to do, like, a continuity camera. You know, where you can use your phone as a webcam. Let's have a look here. Or maybe I need to update... Do I need to update it? Yeah, I need to update the operating system on this computer, which, to be honest, will help a lot because it will speed up things a lot. But basically, and well done to the puzzle solvers. I don't know if I'm going to try and lift this. Can you see the bottom of the seat, how worn out that is? See that? How worn out? And what it means is, it's just because I've used it for 3 years. And It's just because I've used this for like 3 years, and I've worked from it and do all my live shows from it. It's worn away lots. It's lasted me well. I thought that they could literally just replace that little bit of the pad. So I ordered, and they said, yeah, it's out of warranty, but we'll give you a warranty discount. And it was like £80. It was reduced from 160. These chairs are like 500-600. Gaffer tape fixes everything. Well, the reason, like, it's still fine to sit on. It flakes on the floor now, and so I'm having to vacuum clean around here. Anyway, it arrived through the post. I say through the post. No way. It was at the door. Look at the size of the box. And that is because they they gave me like the full chair unit for the bottom, so I now need help because I need to get a mallet out to remove this and fix it. So it's going to be a lot of hassle. Softcore says, Myles, took me 15 years to thank you. Back in 2008, I had a few issues in my personal life and shut off from the world. Watching Blade 376 on Justin TV got me through. Glad to see you're still doing well. Well, we were talking at the start of the show about vitamin G, gratitude, and gratitude can come at any time, and just connecting with people even after a long while can be huge. And so I just want to say a huge thank you. I hope that you are doing well. I'm glad that my videos managed to help you back then, and I hope the videos, I know some of you have mentioned who've only discovered me in the last year have been getting served old videos of mine and have found them amusing. It's cool to see people from both sides. Some old people coming back and seeing the new me for the first time in like 15 years, like seeing an old friend, and other people that only know me now and look back and go, wow, Myles, you've changed a lot. So yeah, someone is fidgety in the chair. Right, Karina says, Myles, please share with us where you bought your VR mat. Can we get a discount? The reason I haven't spoken about it is because I'm currently in talks with the manufacturer. I was so impressed with it. I've said, can we do a partnership where we get on their website the PSVR without parole design, and then some kind of deal for our fans and that. They said, give us 2 weeks to get back to you, which means next week I'll be catching up with them again. I've wanted to shout about it and talk about it on the show. That's the reason I've gone quiet, is because I want to shout about it once we've got something official done, as opposed to just giving people the image to get it made themselves. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Mark says, I threw our vacuum cleaner out. It was just collecting dust. Well done. Well done. All right, everyone, that is it for this week. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful Easter. I love you all, and I'm really surprised, despite feeling terrible today and not sure if I was even going to be able to do this show coherently. It flew pretty quickly, and I'm kind of glad with how it came out. Huge thank you to all the mods, to all of you in the chat, and for anyone that was watching and didn't say a damn thing, as Brian always says. I love that. We love you all, so have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.